Hello, Cancer. This is your monthly reading for April 2021. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you are unsure of your Sun, Moon, Rising signs, take a moment to give a little bit of a Google. There are many sites out there where you just plug in your birth date and your birth time, and it'll give you the planetary aspects that were present when you were born. For some of them, such as your rising sign, you do need your exact birth time, but I know that's not possible for everybody, so just use the best information you can, but some of that information may be left blank, or they may give you an approximation. The site that I use the most is astrocharts.com. It's astro-charts.com. Not affiliated, it's just the site that I prefer to use. I like their format. A lot of sites do go into depth and explain what a lot of the aspects mean, so they're very informative. So we're going to get started with the month of April. I want to mention, if you saw my full moon reading, that we're coming up to April 11th, which is the new moon in Aries. And the new moon in Aries is very powerful time for setting intentions. It's Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, and that new moon is like that new energy, that new cycle, and so it's sort of like a new year and setting resolutions for the new year. And it's a great time to manifest. It's a great time to really think about your visions and have like a nice positive bath for those visions. And some people like to make a vision board. You can write out like affirmations. You can really meditate heavily on what you'd like to see your life look like for the coming year. But very powerful energy with that Aries new moon. Also, I have decided to shuffle off camera. I ruined Aries' birthday reading by shuffling on camera, so they had to listen to my clumsy shuffling. I'm terrible at it. So for everybody else, I have just shuffled off camera, and then I just lay the cards out upside down. So it's still a surprise, but you just don't have to listen to my clumsy shuffling. So we're going to get started, and we're going to look at your own energy for the month of April, and got that Tower. Oh no. Don't worry. So a lot of cleansing energy here, honestly. And speaking of that Aries new moon coming up, from now until that Aries new moon, we just left the full moon in Aries, right? And the moon's like waning down until it recycles into that new moon. It's a great time for getting rid of things that no longer serve you, to declutter yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and however that looks for you. Decluttering your house, decluttering, some nasty people from your life, decluttering nasty thoughts, bad habits, that sort of thing, getting rid of some heavy energy, baggage, and not having it take up space anymore, so that you can let some really new positive stuff make its way in. And with the Tower, that decluttering is happening, to you. A lot of that is, you're being brought to a moment. And I think a lot of you actually, instead of like this being happening to you in April, I think a lot of you are at this moment as you're viewing this. Definitely, you're being forced to get grounded. And, that sounds a little harsh, but you may be like knocked off a pedestal, or like just forced to like, get knocked down. And sometimes you have to get knocked down so that you can get up again. And I'm so sorry. Oh God, I'm going to get that song stuck in my head. Please don't do that. I am sorry that came out. I was a teenager during the 90s when that song was out. Anyway, sometimes we need to get grounded. The Tower comes when things are no longer serving you, when what you've got going on in your life is on such a faulty foundation that nothing can stand on it anymore. And it's like kind of trying to maybe force a situation, and the more you force it, the weaker it actually becomes, right? And so a lot of this stuff has to come crumbling down so that you can rebuild and do so in a much better, much more positive way. But it's really like a forced grounding and coming down to reality, and forcing you to kind of like take a look at things and reassess. It's a lot of quick energy and a lot of upheaval for some of you, but there is growth that will come from it. All right. And so the external energy around you is, okay, the Knight of Pentacles. Great. So more grounding energy. I definitely see the need to be realistic about things, especially in the beginning of the month. So I know I just told you that the new moon is coming, and we're setting intentions, and we're dreaming big and manifesting. That doesn't mean, you can't be realistic and understand like where your life is now, and really assessing how things are right now, being realistic about, what's going on, if you're happy, what needs to change, what can you change. This Knight of Pentacles energy is very, very grounded energy, very sure-footed, very stable. And I like the fact that he's like facing this tower. It's like, I'm here to catch you. And it might be something who saves you, like an actual person who saves you from this moment. But this person isn't just going to like swoop in and grab you and carry you off into the sunset. The Knight of Pentacles is also slow energy. He's moving forward, and he's got a place to go, and he's on a path, and he's very sure where he's going. But he's not rushing. Oftentimes you see him on like a very big, powerful, strong, sturdy horse, representing, that stable energy and some of that slower moving energies, like on a big, oh God, I call them dumb bloods. Like he's, in a lot of my decks, it's like a Percheron or a Shire horse, the big medieval type of horses that knights usually were on. And they're not exactly race horses. They can be fast and they can charge at you, but they're strong and sturdy and a lot heavier. And they're not faster like some other horses. We're getting an equine lesson here. I don't know why, but that's just what came through. But so with that Knight of Pentacles, looking towards you, like there's some energy there to sort of catch you, to sort of help you with that grounding that's happening, and help you, be practical and really look at things with, not looking at things, heads in the clouds or in a dreamlike state, just being realistic about where life is right now, and, moving forward, just not charging forward, right? And then looking at energy that is here to challenge you, as if you need another challenge, but more of like a motivational challenge, right? We have the Eight of Cups, right? Okay, good. So the Eight of Cups, like really thinking about, for some of you, it's the energy of like, do I stay or do I go, right? And deciding that, a lot of this shit that brought you here to this moment is just not working out for you, and you need to leave it behind. I really don't want to go too much deeper into that Eight of Cups energy. I feel like a lot of you are making decisions to leave a bunch of bullcrap behind. Again, like I said, it's that decluttering. And some of you might just be spring cleaning your house hardcore, but it could be the first time in a long time when you've made the decision to like let go of some items. For others, this is like an emotional decluttering, and for some of you it's also like people, like, I can no longer be in this situation with this person, I've got to go, there's something better. You don't want to get stuck. The challenge is to really assess, again, with this energy, it's like assessing where you are right now and deciding what you need to do about it, what needs to stay behind, and what you need to take with you, to carry with you, to go forward to something that's more secure and more stable. And then what energy is helping you? We've got the Nine of Swords. This is the second time this one has showed up today, I believe. Nine of Swords, some of you may have heard it referred to as the nightmare card. And, it definitely looks like she's having a nightmare. And it's like, oh my gosh, well, how can that help me? As I told, I think it was Aries, that had this card. You know, yeah, there's a nightmare situation. Yeah, this person here can't sleep. The Nine of Swords is less stuff happening to you from the outside. So we have the Tower, which can often be an external source, is forcing a change for you, you know, very quickly and very strong and suddenly. The Nine of Swords is like that resulting mental energy of all this bullcrap that you have been through, your fear, you know, the stuff that brings you anxiety, the stuff that, you know, literally keeps you up at night or causes nightmares and keeps you from being able to sleep comfortably. And, you know, so how, like, you're looking at that, like, well, how can that possibly help me? And I felt the same energy with Aries as I do for you with this card. Is less about that stuff really weighing you down right now, and it's more about you waking up from that energy. The Nine of Swords does contain hope in it. You know, like, it's not all bad. It's not always going to be bad. There's these little beautiful flowers, whoops, on the bedspread here, and this bedspread doesn't have it, but oftentimes you'll see the Nine of Swords blanket is full of the zodiac, and just representing, you know, some more universal support and universal answers out there for you. But sometimes, you know, the energy helping you is about facing those fears and facing what has caused those fears. As I say in so many of my readings, I'm not the type of reader to tell you to, you know, I'm not the new age person to tell you to, like, don't fear anything. Don't let yourself be afraid, because that'll just bring bad things to you. I don't believe that. You know, fear is very motivating. Doubt can be very motivating, and it's all there for valid reasons. You know, a lot of times it overstays its welcome, but the reason it's there in the first place came from something that definitely impacted you. But I see the helpful energy here is finding ways to really start overcoming those fears. And it could be that this Tower situation just brings you to a moment where you're like, holy shit, I can't, like, hold on to these anymore, right? Because I've learned so many lessons with this that, you know, this mental energy is just, you know, what I went through here, this seems so insignificant, but I really get this feeling of, instead of being consumed with the nightmare, starting to wake up from the nightmare instead. We're going to look at energy that is, again, within you. So you just had, like, fears here, and we're going to look at your hopes and fears. And we've got Seven of Wands, feeling defensive for sure. I feel like that you, obviously, this is such a heavy row. It really is. There is just so much going on here with you guys. Want to give you a hug. I'm here. I'm hugging you. Really take comfort with this Knight of Pentacles energy, though. So much going on here that I feel like you feel that you're in this position where you're constantly defending yourself. You're defending the way you think. You're defending the way that you just are. You're defending who you are, defending your ideas. And the thing is, like, you have every right to be there, right? You have every right to stand your ground. And, you know, so you may have those fears, but ultimately, like, there's encouragement to have that self-confidence and to understand that, like, you deserve to stand your ground. You deserve to be here. You really do. And I feel, you know, these two are definitely, you know, playing with each other. You know, this is waking up. And this is a reminder, yeah, stand your ground. Even though you it's that phrase, speak up even if your voice shakes, right? That's definitely the energy here. And then what do we want to avoid in April? We want to avoid the Fool. Excellent. And yeah, the Fool can be a very good card, you know, taking a leap of faith, starting a new journey. But the Fool can also be very foolish. The Fool can be very impulsive. The Fool can actually forget to look or where he's leaping. He can be very immature, and very neglectful. And so you want to avoid that energy. So it's like, yeah, definitely something new is eventually starting here. But, you know, don't be an actual literal fool about it. You know, look where you're going. Watch where you're going. Be intentional with where you're going rather than just blindly accepting everything. And then extra advice for you for April. King of Pentacles, nice, very stable, very grounded energy. And with that King of Pentacles, there's, especially with the Knight of Pentacles too, be prepared. So, you know, this is an off-guard moment, but there's also like, you know, be prepared. What can you do to be prepared for things? This is a theme for a lot of people too. And again, like I said, being realistic about what's going on in your life right now. And he's realistic too. You know, especially with his resources and what he has available to him. So just being aware of your resources and being prepared with your resources as well. But also very confident energy here, very secure energy here. This is somebody who has definitely stood his ground, and he can afford now to be generous. He can afford to just kind of like sit there on his throne and chill here with his little grapes and his staff and his pentacle, because he's taken the time and he's worked hard for, you know, to get where he is, and he's a leader. And, you know, I feel like a lot of this energy here is bringing you to the point where you're standing up like for yourself, and you're leading the charge, or you're just standing up for yourself, and you're becoming more confident and unwilling to take a lot of this bullshit, and unwilling to take some of the bullshit that's behind you here as well. Pardon my language. And, you know, you're working towards, you know, more of the stability here. But again, you know, as advice, he's asking you to be prepared for that, but also sort of like feel your confidence and allow yourself to feel your confidence. And, you know, bringing this here, the advice here as well, to like stand your ground, stand firm, like you have every right to be there, and you have every right to be here too. Upcoming energy for you. Deep breath. We have, oh good, thank God, the Sun, because it's been so rough for you. All right, the Sun. All right, Cancer. I know there's some rough energy here, you know, stuff that is needing to happen, but you have the Sun, you know, beautiful card. I'm not even going to like overdo it here. Joy, optimism, blessings, you know, good stuff on its way to you here. Icky stuff, feeling your confidence, standing your ground, leading the way, especially for yourself. But, you know, something good coming up, a reason to be optimistic about things despite all of this poo that we see here. Let's take a look at your oracle cards. The first one we have, nice, Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. And this is very communicative energy here. You know, telling your story, and some of this might be like all of this crap that you're going through is ultimately leading to you like telling your story, sharing your experience, bringing that up. And that can also be here too. Like you don't feel like you have the authority to speak up and speak your truth, but you actually do. You do have that authority, and people are going to listen. And, you know, there's a lack of confidence that's going on in some of these areas. But here it's saying that like you deserve the confidence, and you're actually going to be serving as somebody who helps others and who serves as an inspiration for others, especially through the way you express yourself, the way that you share yourself. Nice. Oh, nice. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Absolutely gorgeous. I love this with the Tower card, because the Tower card is when things don't fit. I don't know if I said the phrase in the beginning of this, but with the Tower card, I often think of, trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. You know, sometimes we're trying so hard to fit in that it just doesn't work out, and we're not meant to fit in, and we're meant to be something else, and we're meant to get grounded and to fall into something else, and to be something else. But also that's this energy here too, feeling defensive and feeling like you need to like stand up for yourself. And so keep doing it, keep being you, and don't shrink against, these little wands coming at you. Stand your ground, have that authority, right? Stand your ground and have that authority, and shine your light and express your light as well. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous energy to end in, especially with this sun. I love that. If you have any questions, if you need anything clarified, please let me know. If you like a personal reading for yourself, my information is down below for that. I am sending you lots of love and blessings, my Cancer people. I hope that you are healthy. I hope that you are safe. And I hope that you are happy. Okay, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. And have a wonderful, wonderful